Even though it's one of Europe's smaller countries, there is a deceptively long list of places to visit in Portugal. Portugal's major cities and quaint towns are known around the globe for their high-end food and beguiling nightlife. From the west coast to southern Portugal, you'll find beautiful beaches, fishing villages, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and lots of architecture. Number 10. Azores. Having overcome a journey of 1.5 thousand kilometers across the ocean from mainland Portugal, you can visit a picturesque corner of subtropical nature cut off from the world, the Azores. In total, the archipelago includes 9 islands, occupying a total area of about 2,300 square meters. The largest of them is the island of San Miguel, where the capital of this autonomous region, Ponta Delgada, is located. Also, this island is known for the highest point in Portugal. It is an active volcano pico with a height of more than 2,300 meters. Holidays in the Azores are an occasion to escape from noisy trips to busy Portuguese cities and merge with pristine nature. Among the entertainment on the island are such as sea fishing and whale watching on rented yachts, walking tourism to an extinct volcano, swimming in pools with thermal springs, visiting extraordinarily beautiful lakes, waterfalls, and natural parks. Number 9. Vila Moura. Going to the south of Portugal, it is worth visiting Vila Moura, a relatively young city, and at the same time a developed tourist center, one of the largest European luxury resorts. It is located right on the ocean coast, and therefore there are excellent conditions for a comfortable beach holiday. There are 4 large equipped beaches where you can do various water sports, relax on the white sand, and just admire the picturesque landscapes. There are also many top-class hotels, spa centers, restaurants, beauty salons, shops, golf clubs, as well as the largest yacht club in Europe. Shoppers can stroll through small shops where they can buy nautical-themed souvenirs, beautifully painted traditional tiles, handmade jewelry, and many other memorabilia. Number 8. Cape Roca. Last-minute tours to Cape Roca, one of the mysterious places, the westernmost tip of the European continent, are in constant demand. To visit this land means literally to see the end of the world, where stunning panoramas of the bottomless and boundless Atlantic Ocean open up from a 150-meter-high cliff. It was from these shores that numerous expeditions once set off. Brave sailors rushed towards the sea element, making expeditions to China, Africa, and the New World. Among the notable places of the Cape are an old lighthouse of the 18th century, a number of observation platforms along the coast, a sparsely populated and almost wild Praia da Adraga beach, where you can relax from the bustle of sightseeing. The coast of the Cape is transformed during sunset, when you can watch the sun slowly plunge into the endless ocean waters. Number 7. Monte Tropical Garden. Perhaps one of the most favorite tourist destinations on the Portuguese island of Madeira is the Tropical Garden located on Mount Monte in the city of Funchal. Looking for what to see in Portugal in the spring, you should choose this place. In the last month of spring, the lush greenery of the park reveals itself in all its glory, delighting with the richness of fresh spring colors. The park has several diverse areas created at different times. For example, the Chinese-style Oriental Garden, the central lake with swans, ducks, and herons living in it, a corner of Portuguese azulejo ceramics, a cafe, and an observation deck. And all this splendor is crowned by the snow-white Monte Palace, built in the 18th century by the English consul. Today, within the walls of the palace, there is a museum where collections of sculptures and collections of minerals brought from all over the world are exhibited. Number 6. Madeira Island. 1,000 kilometers southwest of continental Portugal is a beautiful and flourishing island of volcanic origin. Its lands, washed by the Atlantic Ocean, are the top of an underwater volcano, a piece of land with an area of only 740 square meters, striking a riot of greenery and flowers. Luxurious green landscapes of the island are largely the merit of a favorable climate, due to the warm wind of the Gulf Stream. Year-round comfortable weather without sweltering heat, an abundance of clear days make this island an ideal place for natural recreation. Perhaps the best way to explore the island is to arrange a hiking tour. especially since there are a lot of walking routes, during which you can see mysterious caves, wild waterfalls, virgin forests, visit fishing villages, and small villages with snow-white houses. Number 5. Vasco da Gama Bridge. When planning a route in Portugal, it is impossible to ignore another impressive building, the longest European bridge. Vasco da Gama crosses the Tagus northeast of Lisbon, and its length is more than 17 kilometers. Previously, a bridge had already been built across the Tagus, but with the increase in the number of vehicles, the load began to increase, and a decision arose to build a more powerful and larger crossing. Despite the scale of the design of Vasco da Gama, it took construction specialists only 3 years from 1995 to 1998 to bring the idea to life, of which only 1.5 were required directly for the construction, while the remaining 1.5 went into careful preparation for construction and detailed engineering calculations. Number 4. City of Aveiro. To draw up a tourist route through the westernmost European country, it is worth considering the most interesting sites of Portugal in advance. The presentation will not do without the glorious town of Aveiro, Little Venice, famous for its water channels, Art Nouveau architecture, and bright narrow boats, Malaceros. Due to its very venerable age, this town has preserved a lot of historical sites, for example, the Museum of Modern Art of the beginning of the last century with an Art Nouveau facade, one of the most famous porcelain factories in the world. The Maritime Museum, which tells about the history of navigation and fishing in Aveiro. In between excursions, you can relax in one of the many restaurants or head to the beaches of Costa Nova. Number 3. The resort city of Cascais. Not far from the Portuguese capital, off the coast of Estoril, there is a small beach resort town of Cascais. At the turn of the 19th and 20th centuries, Cascais was the summer residence of the royal family, thanks to which this town became a tourism pioneer in Portugal. Today, it is one of the most prestigious Portuguese resorts that have preserved the unique atmosphere of the Middle Ages. The lands where today's urban life in Cascais rages were settled by the first inhabitants in the 12th century. The resulting settlement, due to its favorable geographical position on the coast of the Atlantic Ocean, near the capital, quickly grew and began to flourish, and these lands subsequently became the subject of battles between different nations more than once. Today, this historic center is literally filled with architectural treasures. Number 2. Guimarães Castle. The Portuguese city of Guimarães is the cultural and historical center of the country, and its main symbol is the medieval castle of Guimarães, which has become a historical landmark of Portugal. Today, the castle has been restored and has practically not retained its original appearance, and the fortress on the site of the castle, Monte Largo Hill, was first built back in the 7th century. The modern appearance of the castle acquired much later, in the 12th century. Until the end of the 9th century, this territory was dominated by the Arabs and was called Vimaranish. Later, when the Portuguese conquered these lands, Count Diogo Fernandes became the owner of the fortress. Today, the castle has the shape of a heraldic shield. Out of 28 towers, only 4 have survived, each of which is accessed by stone stairs. A suspension bridge connects the central gate and the western wall. Visitors can see all the premises of the fortress and climb its walls, which offer beautiful views of the city of Guimarães. Number 1. Peneda Gerês National Park. As for the natural beauties of Portugal, we can say that there is a place for expanse and contemplation. Amazing mountain landscapes, numerous lakes, rivers, and waterfalls, lush greenery of mountain meadows. In a word, you will find something to see in Portugal. Despite the natural diversity, there is only one reserve in Portugal, the Peneda Gerês National Park. This protected area is spread between the Peneda and Gerês mountain ranges. Peneda Gerês is a mountainous reserve with rich flora, waterfalls, rivers, fast-flowing streams, and gray granite villages. As for the animal world. In the park, you can find roe deer, Iberian wolf, undersized horses, brown bears, mountain goats, Barossa bulls. Luxurious vegetation is represented by varieties of oaks, birches, bird cherry. The only holly forest in Portugal grows here. There are also endemic plants, including some species of ferns and lilies. The territory of the park is partially populated. For example, in the southwest, there is a small town of Canisada. A dam was erected near this city, blocking the river and forming a picturesque reservoir. Many hiking trails pass through the territory of the reserve. In some places, even the ancient Roman road leading to the north has been preserved, and along its sides you can find the ruins of centuries-old structures.